Ever had a crush who seemed amazing at first, only to discover they were a walking disaster? Like, at the start, they seemed like the perfect match. Charming, funny, even sending those sweet good morning texts. But then, the messages start to vanish, the red flags pop up, and suddenly you're left wondering, is it me or is it them? Spoiler alert, it's not you. The problem is that some types of crushes are straight up emotional traps, and that's exactly what we're diving into today. Get ready to uncover the 5 types of crushes you should avoid at all costs. And trust me, you'll probably relate to at least one or all of them, no judgment. We'll talk about the indecisive type who can't make up their mind, the player with more saved contacts than you have in your entire phone, and even the ghost who vanishes the moment things get serious. If you're tired of investing your time and energy into dead-end romances, this video is for you. So take a deep breath, grab some popcorn, and let's dive into this world of red flags disguised as cupids. Because let's face it, your heart deserves way better than these amateurs. The first is the indecisive one. The indecisive one. We've all been there. This is the crush who seems cool, gives you just enough hints of interest, but never actually takes action. You know the classic, "we should hang out sometime"? Yeah, that sometime is the emotional equivalent of a black hole. It's never happening, and in the meantime, your time and energy are getting sucked into the void. The indecisive crush is a pro at leaving everything up in the air. They never say what they really feel, but they also won't walk away completely. They're like that app you downloaded thinking it would be useful, but all it does is take up storage on your phone. And the worst part? They'll drop little breadcrumbs of attention just to keep you hanging around. A dry lol reply, liking your photo weeks after you posted it, or the classic "what's up" at 11 p.m. on a Saturday, just enough to remind you they exist. Here's the kicker, the indecisive one isn't necessarily trying to mess with you. They might genuinely be confused about what they want, but you deserve to be a priority, not an option. If someone can't make a simple decision, like asking you out, how are they supposed to handle something bigger in the future? The fix? Don't play their game. If your crush can't be clear about what they want, you need to be clear about what you don't want. Don't settle for being someone's backup plan. If the indecisive crush can't decide, help them out, delete their number, and move on. You don't have time to wait for someone who can't even decide what they want for dinner. Remember, indecision might be cute when you're picking a movie, but never in a relationship. Now, let's talk about the player. If you've ever met a crush who seemed like they walked straight out of a rom-com but turned out to have more tricks up their sleeve than a Vegas magician, congrats. You've met the player. And let's be real, the player isn't here to build a relationship. They're here to collect hearts like trophies. This type of crush is charming to the max. They know exactly what to say, when to say it, and how to make you feel special. They'll send flirty texts packed with emojis, hype up your Instagram posts like your biggest fan, and even remember little details you told them weeks ago. Sounds perfect, right? Spoiler, it's not. The player has a little problem, or rather several problems, and they usually go by the names of all the other people they're stringing along at the same time. They're the king or queen of copy-paste messages. That sweet, "Hey beautiful, I was just thinking about you," isn't as exclusive as you'd like to think. But here's the biggest red flag. The player loves the chase until you start liking them back. The second they feel like they've won you over, they lose interest faster than you can say unfollow. It's like the thrill of the game is all that drives them. How to deal. Stop falling for their charm. When the player hits you with something like, "I've never met anyone like you," hit them back with, "Are you sure?" Because your list seems pretty long. Don't feed their ego, and definitely don't let their empty compliments get to you. Crushes are meant to be fun, but real relationships require more than just sweet talk. The player? Send them back to the bench. You deserve a starter, not someone who treats you like practice. Next up, we have the mystical, spooky creature of the dating world, the ghost. No, they're not a literal spirit, but they do disappear from your life as quickly as Wi-Fi during a work meeting. The ghost is the crush who starts out strong. They're enthusiastic, texting you all the time, even making plans. That spoiler, they'll never follow through on. You start to think, hey, this might actually go somewhere. And then, poof, they're gone. Total radio silence. No more good morning texts, no replies to your DMs, nothing. You'd think they got abducted by aliens, but nope. They just lost interest and chose to vanish instead of having an honest conversation. The worst part? Just when you're starting to forget they exist, they magically reappear like nothing happened, with a casual, "Hey stranger," or the classic, "I was just thinking about you." Oh really? You've been thinking about me for 3 weeks, but couldn't respond to a simple text? Sure, Jan. The ghost ghost thrives on emotional manipulation, even if it's unintentional. Their disappearing act creates mystery, and they use that to keep you hooked on the what if. What if they were really busy? What if they actually deserve another chance? Spoiler number 2, they don't. How to handle the ghost. Don't chase someone who's already gone. If they vanish without explanation, leave them in the land of the missing. And if they come back, treat them for what they are, a temporary visitor. Respond with a dry hi if you even bother responding at all, and keep it moving. Remember, you deserve someone who stays, not someone who treats your life like a revolving door. Ghosts belong in horror stories, not relationships. Up next is the walking drama. If you thought relationships were already complicated, wait until you meet the walking drama. This is the crush who turns every single interaction into a full-blown soap opera, minus the glamour and commercial breaks. The walking drama is an expert at overreacting. Forgot to reply to a text for 15 minutes. Oh, so this is how you treat me now. Went out with friends without giving them a heads up. Wow, I guess I don't matter to you anymore. Every minor thing becomes a major catastrophe, and instead of enjoying your time together, you're stuck putting out emotional fires. Here's the thing, the walking drama isn't necessarily a bad person. They're probably just so used to living in a constant whirlwind of emotions that they think it's normal. But you know who shouldn't have to pay for that? You, because in the end, it's always the other person, aka you, who ends up exhausted, trying to keep the peace while they turn everything into a dramatic monologue. And the kicker? They're amazing at making you feel like the bad guy. If you try to set boundaries, they'll flip the script and turn themselves into the victim. I knew you never really cared about me. Suddenly, you're walking on eggshells, doubting yourself and trying to avoid triggering the next dramatic episode. What's the move? Don't play a supporting role in their soap opera. If the walking drama insists on turning the relationship into a never-ending emotional roller coaster, you have every right to step off the ride. Relationships should be about balance, not constant drama. Honestly, who wants to date a hurricane? Relationships should bring peace, not chaos. Bye, drama. And finally, we arrive at the classic crush who shouldn't even be on your radar but somehow sneaks their way in, the married, or almost married, one. This is the crush who's technically taken, yet still manages to stir things up with you. It always starts the same way. My relationship is basically over. We're just working out the details. Or the ever reliable, things are so complicated right now, but you're different. You're special. Sounds like a once-in-a-lifetime connection, right? Spoiler, it's not. Here's the reality. If they're willing to cheat or emotionally stray from their current partner, why would it be any different with you? This isn't a love story. It's a messy triangle filled with lies, drama, and empty promises. There's always an excuse for why they can't officially end things: kids, finances, or even the family dog. Meanwhile, you're stuck in this weird gray zone, wondering if you're their one and only or just a convenient side quest. And the worst part? Even if they do leave their partner for you, what's stopping them from repeating the cycle? As the saying goes, if they cheated with you, they'll probably cheat on you. How to handle it? Treat this as the giant red flag that it is and walk away. You deserve to be someone's first and only choice, not their backup plan or their escape route. Healthy relationships don't start with lies, and no crush is worth the emotional mess of jumping into someone else's drama. Your time and energy are too valuable for that. So if a taken crush comes knocking, the answer is simple: boy, bye. Here's your checklist of red flags to watch out for. Does your crush take forever to reply to your text with no good excuse? Or maybe they've hit you with the classic "I don't like labels" line. Do they pull a Houdini, vanishing into thin air only to reappear later like nothing happened? Or blow up over the tiniest things like you not replying in 5 minutes? And let's not forget the big one. Are they still technically in another relationship or stuck in that shady, it's complicated limbo? If you're nodding along to any of these, I've got bad news for you, my friend. So, how many of these types of crushes have you encountered? If any of them sound familiar, here's the good news. Now you know exactly how to spot and avoid them. Relationships are complicated enough without being a constant guessing game or an emotional battlefield. Whether it's the indecisive one who can't commit, the player who treats you like just another fling, the ghost who vanishes without a trace, the walking drama that drains your energy, or the married one who should never have been an option, the message is the same: you deserve more. Remember, every Every moment you spend on someone who isn't worth it is time you're taking away from finding someone who truly values you. So focus on those who bring reciprocity, stability, and peace into your life. Now tell me, which of these types of crushes have you dealt with? Drop a comment below and share this video with your friends, because they might need a wake-up call too. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more fun and practical dating tips. See you next time, and remember, avoid the red flags.